Hey, this is Jeff again with Evil Hollow Ventures, reiguideservice.com, reiguideservice.com. I want to make a real quick video and talk about wrapping up deals. So a real quick example of things not always going as planned, but trying to just work your way out of it the best way that you can, is that I was recently involved in a partnership agreement between a couple of different guys and myself. We were supposed to be making some things happen, and a bunch of problems arose. And as soon as those problems arose, one of these guys wanted out, and he wanted out and was complaining and wanting a refund, wanting all his money back. And it was explained to him that this isn't, it's a partnership. It's, we're all in this together. If there's a loss, we are all in this loss together. And he just kept going on and on and on about how he watched me on my YouTube. He's known me in real life, had me out to his properties, how he trusted me, how he can't afford to lose this kind of money. And it wasn't a tremendous amount of money. It was a lot, but it wasn't a tremendous amount of money. Most people wouldn't be freaking out about this amount of money in the way that he was freaking out. And not only was he wanting all of his money back, but he was wanting all of the profit that he expected to make at the finale of this deal, as if everything had gone through and gone right. And so I offered to give him all of his money back just to be done with it. Here's all your money back. You can have all of it. I don't want any of it. I'll cover your portion of it. Don't worry about it. And he said no. He wanted 100% of his money plus the profit. And I refused, of course, because that doesn't make any sense. And so there was a lot of like insults and trying to bring up things that he thought might hurt my feelings or kind of belittle me, I guess, into paying him more money. I don't understand, but um, then he, threatened to take me to court, and I said, "Let's go." I've been to court before because, if I go to court with you and you sue me, and then I'm agreeing to give you some of your money back, I can really see that being a benefit because I've had that happen before. So he did. He sued me. We went to court. And when we went to court, he tried to first tell the judge that that was his expected portion of profit. That's what it said in his original paperwork. But then when he couldn't justify that, he said he was actually trying to get the money for the other partner, our other partner. There's three partners in the deal. He said he was trying to not only get his money back, but the other partner's money back. And so that's why he was suing me for way more than what our contract or agreement was. The judge told him to piss off. That's insane. You can't do that. And so then he got a judgment, and the judgment was for the amount of money that I offered to give him months and months and months before. So immediately after getting this judgment, the guy contacts me, and now he wants all of the benefits of that partnership still. He wants to know all kinds of information and starts making, and is again back to being very, very cocky. Even though he just lost in court, he was just told, that he wasted 8 months of going through all that court stuff when I would have just given him his money back. At the very beginning, not to deal with him. The whole point was to not deal with him. That's why I would offered him his money back. But here I am 8 months later still dealing with him. And he's sending me emails and text messages and again being cocky and arrogant and making threats. And so I decided that there's a legal remedy. Just like he took his legal remedy, I didn't even fight it. I told the judge I didn't want to do business with this guy anymore, that I'm more than happy to give him his money back, but he's asking for a crazy amount. The judge said, "You're right." So you would think after what was said and after the judge telling him that he was legally wrong and that what I was offering was right, that he would just go along with that, but started making all these crazy demands and the emails and threats and, insulting me again. And so I dragged my feet on paying him because there's a legal way that I can go about paying him, that I have to, that you're required to. Like, everybody says you can't get people to pay judgments and whatnot, but there are ways that you can, and it's just annoying to deal with. I didn't have a problem with giving the guy the money back. I had a problem with his arrogant attitude of getting into an agreement with me and another guy, then making all kinds of crazy demands when he wasn't doing anything for the agreement in any way, shape, or form. Then demanding not only all of his money back, but then demanding all of the profit that he thinks that he should have made. Then making threats, and none of this makes sense as a good business person for him to have done, right? Because I did look at multiple properties for him, and he does own rental properties, and he didn't take any of the suggestions, any of the life safety suggestions, any of the precautions, And I have a ton of emails back and forth from him and I talking about all of the things that he should be doing and that he was not going to be doing. And the reason that he wasn't going to be doing it was to save money and that the city was stupid. Nobody's going to check, so on and so forth. And that kind of stuff really is upsetting because here, this guy who's trying to hold me to some sort of moral high ground because he watched some videos on my YouTube and has known me for a long time, so I should just give him all his money plus all of his profit. That's what I should do just because I've known him for a long time and he watched my videos. Not only his money back, but also all of his profit, even though he wants out before the deal is even close to completion. This person is also putting other people's lives at risk. Now, that aside, what if I was just a petty ass person and went to the city and told them, hey, this guy's doing all of these things? Well, here's the twist. I already did. I did that not because I was being sued by him or because our conversations were going negative, but I had done that well before we even got in any kind of partnership. And I made him aware of that. And he chose to get into a partnership with me anyway. So the reality of it is that I am not the most high standard of morals. I definitely am not any kind of compass. What I have is I have my own moral compass where I try to do the right thing. I try to let people out of situations that they get themselves into. I try not to get myself into situations that I would ever want out of. I try to be blessed and bless others. And dealing with people, even when you try to do the right thing, even when you just say, okay, fine, you can have your money back, go away. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be grateful or thankful or whatever, but in this business, there's going to be problems. And one of the problems I'm going to face now is people can look up and see that I have a judgment, and it's just going to say I have a judgment for X amount of dollars. And they're going to see that, oh, well, you went to court and you lost. Well, the reality is I won because I was willing to pay for 8 months before that all of that money that he won. So nobody wins in these situations. You want to try to work it out as best as you can, but some people are going to be unreasonable, and you just have to do what you believe is the right thing, what you feel is morally correct. And for the record, he's been paid back his money, so it doesn't even matter. There's no issue. There's no contention. He can say whatever he wants, that I'm mean, that I made him wait longer than was necessary after the judgment. And yeah, I absolutely did, but he wasted a ton of my time. I had to go to court. I had to respond to emails. I had to do all this stuff when all along I would have just given him the money if he just wouldn't have been such a jerk off about it and taken the money that he was actually entitled to and not making these outrageous demands. But that's just part of business. You have to take your own moral fortitude and really test it against real world challenges, because you're going to have to deal with people that don't care about blessing you or blessing others. You are going to deal with a lot of selfish people, and you just have to still do the right thing anyway. All right? Be blessed, bless others. ReGuideService.com. I hope this story helped you in some way. I hope that if you ever are in some sort of partnership, that you make sure you have everything documented. So if you do have to go to court, that you can prove exactly what it is that you guys agreed to, and you don't have to make it a big, drawn out process. Fortunately, this was small enough that it didn't have to be some sort of crazy big shenanigans and didn't get a bunch of lawyers involved and all that sort of thing. So it worked out well in the end for all of us. I don't think anybody here learned any life lessons. I was pretty convinced that people were the way they were before this, and I think that he still believes that he's entitled to way more than he actually got. So I don't think anybody wins. No lawyers won though, so that's a positive. There's no extra wasted money going elsewhere. But that's it. If you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out. I'm always available to help when I can. I love looking at real estate projects. I love doing flips. I even like partnerships still. Be blessed, bless others. ReGuideService.com. Later.
ReGuideService.com.